Understanding the lens, fact, fiction, and confusion. In this video, we're going to look at, is the lens safe and functional? Well, let's start with there is no air-conditioned building on the lens for relief from the sun and heat. I think everyone knows in Florida, it gets hot, particularly in the summer. There's no sheltered area from the storms, and we get a lot of sudden, very powerful storms in our area. The only shelter is under the canopy where rain and wind will blow. No shelter here, and no shelter here. As a matter of fact, there may be a possible wind tunnel effect. As the storm blows in from the bay and strikes the canopy, it may funnel the wind and rain down, and particularly increasing the strength of it as it strikes the people at the base. How about the overwater drive, the lower bridge? Here on the overwater drive, there may be an issue with the railings. You see, the railings shown are for pedestrians. But since large vehicles will use the drive, it may need Florida Department of Transportation road-rated railings. Now, after all, we don't want service and emergency vehicles driving into the bay, do we? And putting in those railings would be a much higher cost, and it might even reduce the usable width. How about the overwater bridge, the upper bridge that's 12 feet wide? Well, here you've got a bike path that you cannot ride onto or off of due to its sharp angles. As a matter of fact, the city architect, Raul Quintana, said at the April 18th meeting with the city council, the intent is obviously that when you get to the end of the overwater bridge, you're probably going to have to dismount your bike and walk your bike down that ramp. It's not intended to be a ramp that you're going to easily ride a bike down. There have been comparisons made with the Pinellas Trail and the overwater bridge, as both are 12 feet wide, so that should be just fine for both since it works okay on the trail. Well, that's pretty much an apples and oranges comparison, and let me show you why. On the Pinellas Trail, you're looking at a low volume in a long distance. On the lens, a high volume in a short distance. On the trail, it's open. You've got escape on the sides. At the lens, it's closed. No escape on the sides. On the trail, the goal is for people to enjoy pleasant riding with minimal traffic. On the lens, the goal is to have a lot of traffic. So on the trail, a 12-foot width is adequate. But on the lens, that 12-foot width is probably not adequate. And many of the people won't even hear any warnings that are on the upper bridge because they're all wearing headsets. Now take a look at this picture from the architects. Aren't these people just a bit too orderly? They're all lined up very nicely in a row on the right, all riding their bikes and skating in one direction. On the left, everybody's in a nice clean row moving in the other direction. Trails just don't work quite that way. And take a look at this picture. People are walking along the upper bridge. They're sightseeing. They're looking around. Okay. Well, what happens when the sightseeing couple steps to their left in front of the children on the bicycles? How about the circular marina? The dash line here is an approximate middle. The architect says we can have up to 24 motorized watercraft plus human-powered watercraft sharing this space. That does not seem reasonable or safe. And what about the cleaning and maintenance of the canopy? Will it need daily cleaning? How? I mean, it's big. What about the cost? What about environmental issues? So, is the lens safe and functional? Well, there's no air-conditioned building for heat and sun relief. There are no shelters from storms with wind and rain. Possible wind tunnel effect may actually increase the danger. There's a bike path you cannot ride onto or off of. A fenced upper bridge bike path may be too narrow. The overwater drive railings will not stop vehicles. There's up to 24 motorized watercraft plus non-motorized in a small circular marina. Canopy cleaning and environmental issues, plus no ability for simultaneous events. Now, the top 10 reasons to stop the lens, we'll get into that more in the next video. And remember, vote yes August 27th to stop the lens.